to help us unpack the President's address. Now I'm joined by political economic analyst Moeletsi Mbeki. Dr. Mbeki, good evening and thank you very much for your time. The President has had a period of reflection and willing to admit that part of what is happening with this looting spree is as a fact that the society has reached a point of being so demoralized with the state of where they are living that they have descended into chaos and decay and destruction of property. And is that a fair and honest reflection?
Well, I would say it's a fair reflection, but looking at where it comes from, I wouldn't call it an honest reflection. The President of South Africa has all the information that you can have about the state of the economy and the society of South Africa. The ANC also has access to this information. In fact, South Africa, we have one of the best collectors of social and economic information about the condition of the population, which is Statistics South Africa. Is one of the most respected institutions in the world about the information that it provides. So I'm surprised that the President is now telling us about the state of the welfare or otherwise of the population. This is common knowledge. He should know it himself. The question is, he has been president. He was vice president under Jacob Zuma. He has been president since when? 2018. What has he done about it? And the ANC has been his party, has been in power for 27 years. They have had all this information. So to keep telling us about the difficulties of South Africa, that's not what they are elected to do. They are elected to solve the problem. The Statistics South Africa, we, the taxpayers, pay Statistics South Africa to tell us about the state of the economy. We don't pay the government to tell us about the politicians to tell us about the state of South Africa. We know it. We are told.
We were exactly waiting to hear how they're going to fix it. In fact, urgent action to bring the nation to a state of security and have it under control and further quell the unrest. We know that 500 supermarkets, for example, have been looted so far in this nation. 30 black-owned businesses have been destroyed. The President trying to outline, I suppose, the build-up of why a democratic state is responding with tougher security in this particular time. So 6 lives have been lost in Gauteng, 4 lives have been lost in KwaZulu-Natal, 4 police officers have been injured, food security is under threat, trucks have been burned, medical services have been affected, pharmaceutical services have been affected, the vaccine rollout has been affected, painting a picture almost to say we are at a state where the welfare of the nation is now under attack, to say, well, this is how we are going to respond. We are going to respond by making sure that every available security resource we have, we mobilize to respond to this. Is that the correct response?
Well, a military response to poverty is never a correct response. You cannot solve the poverty of the population by bringing out the army and tell the people who are poor that stop complaining about being poor. That is not going to solve the problem. Of course, it will clear the streets, and then it will reassure the rich and the middle class that there is peace in the country. They shouldn't bother worry anymore about instability. They should go back and enjoy their wonderful lives, and that is what the military does. It reassures the middle class that they should stop worrying about insecurity and go back to their swimming pools and to their luxuries and to their holidays in the south of France and all that. That's what the military does. Does it solve poverty? Of course not. It doesn't solve the poverty of the people. It silences them from expressing their anger about their poverty.
The economic recovery, I mean, is that something that we can even think about at this particular point if the response is going to be in the manner that which the president says it's going to be, with, of course, the lockdowns that are already in place?
Yes, you know, the ANC has been in economic recovery forever. If you remember, when the ANC came into power in 1994, it had a program called RDP, Reconstruction and Development Program. And then it had another one called Growth, Employment and Redistribution, and so on and so on and so forth. But with all these programs, unemployment has been going up, poverty has been going up. So to tell us now that the ANC has a recovery program, how many years does it take to have a recovery program that actually leads you to recover? You know, if my doctor came to me and I have a headache, and 5 years afterwards says to me, Mr. Mbeki, I'm still working on your headache. You're on your way to recovery. I would change my doctors. So there's no recovery program that the government is working on. There are business proposals that the business community has put in front of the ANC government at NEDLAC, for example. And the government has ignored those proposals. So that is the reality. They do what is convenient and easy for them to do, and what is difficult they don't do. So there's no recovery program. These are all just words.
That is a political economist there, Moeletsi Mbeki, giving us an analysis of what we heard from the president today and his views on, of course, the securitization, shall we say, or at least the heightening of security in the country with the deployment of the South African National Defence Force, as well as deploying more strategic forces of the police in areas that are most affected. We continue.